Hola, boys and girls, welcome back to yet again another video. Today, I just decided, I was like, you know what, I want to make a video. I've seen so many of these comments on Reddit, on Twitter, a recent article, that I want to compare. I want to compare Call of Duty to other games. Now, before people start yelling in the comments, before things go crazy, I would like you to watch this video and understand where I'm coming from in a sense of comparing, but yet not comparing. So if you would watch this video with an open mind, I would really appreciate it. So here we go. Alright, so this year especially, there's been a lot of talk about Call of Duty esports. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with me or with my background, I am a major watcher. I'm a very known person in the community for watching Call of Duty esports. Now, I do know about CSGO, I know about League of Legends, I know about Dota 2, the other major esports out there. But as far as Call of Duty goes, I am a much bigger expert on Call of Duty than everything else. Now, I could talk about CSGO, I could talk about every other esport, but not on like a super confident level, just to get that out there. I know very much about other esports and like how it works, how the game works, so keep that in mind. But Call of Duty, on the other hand, I know a lot more about. That's just what I'm, studied in, or what I prefer. So with that in mind, this video is based off a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different people talking about comparing Call of Duty. Recent CSGO event had over 1.2 or 1.3 million people watching at ESO1 Cologne. So where this really branches off is an actual article which recently was posted by a company called Deserto. If you guys are interested, I'll put a link down in the description to the article which I'm talking about, and also their company in general. I'll post their Twitter in the description as well. So there's like an article that gets posted out every once in a while, like I don't know if it's weekly or what, by a major guy at Deserto named Mike. Now his series is called On the Mic. It's like an article he does on their website where they post different stuff, and this article title was "Let's Not Shoot Ourselves in the Foot." And I was like, what does this mean exactly? I was kind of curious. It was like an interesting title. It kind of got me, and he actually kind of pointed out someone in the community named Stefan, who I believe used to be an owner of a COD team. I'm not sure if he still is or not, but either way, he posted a picture of a bunch of different events. He posted a venue of Dota 2, of CSGO, League of Legends, and off to the side was Call of Duty Championships for this year, for 2015 in Advanced Warfare. And his tweet was titled, "Just going to leave this here, hashtag esports." So with that in mind, before we even talk about the article, I'm not a fan when people do this, for the fact that do I understand people are trying to do stuff? Yes, I do. Do I understand that people are trying to make a point? Yeah, that makes a point. Am I right? Like, that totally makes a point valid to, what you're saying. Like, does Dota 2, CSGO, and League of Legends have bigger venues, more fans? Yeah, like that's I don't think people understand the fact that, like, yes, Call of Duty realizes that we don't have the biggest audience. We realize that we don't have 1 million people watching our tournament. But people are focusing more on the fact that, like, hey, we don't have as many viewers as League of Legends, Dota 2, or CSGO. Okay, so what are you going to do about that? It doesn't make sense to me when people like say, oh my gosh, COD is dead, I'm a big person in the community, and Call of Duty is dead. If you're a big person in the community, shouldn't you be doing something to prevent that? Like, let's not just talk about it, let's do something to change it. So I'm going to kind of talk about Call of Duty compared to other esports to hopefully kind of talk this down just a little bit, to kind of settle the storm as my phone goes off. But just kind of like settle the storm a little bit to kind of realize that we can compare these games, but realistically it's hard to. So I'm coming from all different perspectives here. So with that in mind, this article, like I said, is kind of based off of this, and let's do this in the best way that we can. So the first thing that I want to talk about in comparing these games is the obvious price. The first price that you see when you get the game, you say, hey, I'm interested in this. How much is it to buy? Well, Call of Duty, for instance, costs around $60 every year. These games, for instance, Dota 2, CSGO, and League of Legends, are one game. Now, have they had previous titles in the past? Yes. Like, we've had Dota, we've had CSGO, different versions of the game, but it's one price. You don't have to worry about, for Call of Duty, for instance, you have a new game every year, and every year it's $60. I just checked on Steam how much CSGO was. It's like one payment of $15. Occasionally when there's a Steam sale, it can be as low as like $5 at times. So let's compare, for instance, the price between Call of Duty and CSGO over a couple of years. So I believe Counter-Strike Global Offensive came out in like 2012, I think. And for Call of Duty, for instance, from 2012, 2013, to 14, to 15, there's been a new title that has been $60 every single time. So when adding these prices up, for instance, if I bought Call of Duty in 2012 and I bought it every year until 2000, let's just say 17. Let's just go to 2017 as an average, okay? So $60 from 2012 to 2017, every title that came out for it, that would be a total of $300. 60 times 5, $300. Now, for instance, if I'm buying CSGO, let's just say the average price for right now, I don't know how much it was when it first came out, but let's just say the average price, $15. So I bought it in 2012 for $15, and that's been the same game every year. So for the out-of-the-box game, I have spent $285 more on Call of Duty than CSGO. Now, has it been different games? Yes. But it has been games that weren't the best. Like, whenever you buy Call of Duty, you take the risk of either having a really good game or having a terrible game. And that's what we've had with Ghost and Advanced Warfare, the previous 2 titles for Call of Duty. These games have not been very good, but now with Black Ops 3 coming up, that's a different story, which I'm not talking about that right now. But still, $285 difference, and some of these games don't even cost anything. I don't even think League of Legends or Dota 2 even cost anything to play. So right there, that's an extra $300. But the main thing that I want to focus on with these titles is that they get you not by the price that you pay, but the price that you pay in the game. Now, for like Dota 2, for League of Legends, for CSGO, there is something in the game for every single one of these that makes you end up paying more than Call of Duty. You know, for League of Legends and for Dota 2, it can be like the certain characters that you use. You know, I really want to use this character, but I don't have enough gold, I don't have enough this. I want to be able to buy this. Like, there's certain things in the game that make it so much, like, it's worth it. But the thing is that out of the box, the first price that you see, it's kind of like misleading, for instance, because, you know what, sure, I'm buying CSGO for $15, but you have any idea how many cases I'm going to open? Do you have any idea how many times I'm going to try to get this knife, or how many times I'm going to try to get a certain skin, the amount of skins that I'm going to buy? I'm sure that most average CSGO players have probably spent more than $300 on skins. Actually, I wouldn't say average, but a very good amount of them probably have. So in a sense, CSGO does cost more than Call of Duty, but CSGO out of the box, when you first play it, for the average eye, CSGO is leagues lower than Call of Duty. And you think about it and you say, well, Call of Duty is a new game every year. Like I mentioned, it's a new game, it's a fresh game every year, and yet CSGO is making more money. And the reason why is because it's the same game. It's a fun game to play. The thing with Call of Duty is that we have a new game every year. It's not comparable, but it is comparable in a sense, because Call of Duty has a new title every single year. It is very hard to compare two things, for the fact that there's like 5 or 6 copies of one, and there's one single copy of another. So the first thing I said was price. That is the main thing. You know, all these other very popular esports don't cost anything, or hardly cost anything at all out of the box. When you first see it, when you first install the game, when you first play it, it doesn't cost hardly anything. With Call of Duty, it costs a lot to first buy it. But once you're in the game, once you're in the middle of it, once you start enjoying stuff, whenever you want to upgrade or get new skins or do this and that, that's when the price really actually comes into play. That's when the game actually becomes, you know, something worth to you. And one of the last things that I'm going to talk about is the actual thing that you buy it on. You know, computer versus console. Whenever you buy a console, for instance, you buy it to play games. Now, sure, you can buy it to play Netflix. You know, the Xbox One has tried to become, you know, like a family-oriented thing where you can use it for Hulu, you know, for Netflix, for YouTube, for a bunch of different stuff. You can get apps on it and stuff. But the main reason you buy a console is to play a game. You buy it to play a game. The computer, on the other hand, has so many different opportunities, because I can play a game on it, I can surf the web with it. There is so many opportunities to use my computer with besides just gaming. So if you had the cost in, you know, to have a good computer, it does cost a good amount of money, for sure. I totally understand that. To run CSGO at max settings, and actually have a good time, it's very costly, if at all possible. But when you're buying Call of Duty, it's different, because sure, I'm buying, you know, console to play, but what else am I using the console for? Just to play games. That's the only reason I'm buying it. I'm buying a controller to make myself better. I'm buying a SCUF controller, you know, that costs a lot of money. Am I going to use the SCUF controller for anything else besides gaming? The thing is, whenever you buy a keyboard to play these games, or like a mouse, for instance, to buy these games, you know, it costs money, but you're going to be using it all the time. I use a mouse and keyboard all the time. I don't type with, you know, joysticks, obviously. So there are many things that come into the role of, you know, these titles, these popular esports, and I give it to them. You know, all of them are on the PC. A lot of console esports, it's so hard to get into, because the reason why you watch an esport a majority of the time is because you enjoy playing that game. And the hardest part about, you know, console esports, Call of Duty in general, is because of how many things that are stepping in front of it. You know, from the different developers every year to the hard, you know, talks about esports. A lot of these games are designed for esports. Dota 2 has a backing of $18 million prize pool. That has never happened before, and it's steadily increasing for them every single year. For Call of Duty, for instance, we're having trouble trying to establish, you know, a one-year championship title, for instance. You know, we've had $3 million championships. Are we guaranteed another one? no one really knows besides the actual people who are coming into play for Black Ops 3. So there are many things that come into Call of Duty, and there's so many people talking about, oh well, Call of Duty is this, Call of Duty is dead. It's so hard because Call of Duty has these things stepping in their way. I want to see where people can, like, not unite, I know that sounds really weird, but where people can be like, you know what, I understand the problems with Call of Duty, I understand the problems with CSGO, with all these games, but why don't we just enjoy the esports that we like watching? I understand that little versus attitude. I totally understand that, So hopefully you guys can kind of understand where I'm coming from. I'm not hating on any esport because, for instance, I see people hating. They're like, you know what, CSGO is getting these big numbers. Call of Duty is dying. I think, if anything, I'm happy for these esports. I'm happy that Dota 2 has an $18.5 million tournament because people are realizing the effect of how esports really works. I'm happy that CSGO had 1.2 million people watching the Cologne event because, you know what? People might enjoy watching FPS, esports only. They might enjoy watching, someone play an FPS. And for instance, if I'm a Call of Duty player, I also am in the FPS category. Say that they're tired of watching CSGO, or the CSGO event's over. You know what? What's another FPS that I can watch? Oh, I can watch Halo. I can watch Call of Duty. The best part about other esports becoming successful is that we're also one. We're also an esport too. It's not just, oh, these guys are off in their own league. We can't even compete with them. It's, we can branch off of them. We can learn from their mistakes. We can learn from their positives that they've made and take it for ourselves. That's what, things happen in the world all the time. Companies take great ideas from other companies and they make it their own. They make it their own alternative way, and it ends out a lot of the time working out for them. Taking a smart idea from someone, learning from their mistakes, can end up making you more successful in the long run. So I didn't want to compare. I don't like comparing, but I had to. And some people say it's not comparable. You can't even compare these games. It's not possible. It is possible to compare these games, but on another level, it is very hard to because of the amount of things that are stepping in Call of Duty's way. Now, I'm not giving Call of Duty a pass because I'm in the Call of Duty community. I'm not giving us a pass at all because there's a lot of things that we could work on to be big like these other esports. A lot of opportunities that we could have taken but chose not to because we were worried about what other people would think or what other, companies or fans might say. So with that in mind, I want this to kind of come to an end. I don't want comparing other esports to come to a point where it's like, you know what, this just adds fuel to the fire. Because that wasn't my point. This entire video was made light off of Twitter conversations, off of Reddit posts, and off of this article, which I said is in the description. So guys, I have to go meet my sister for lunch because I'm really hungry. So with that in mind, if you guys want to continue this conversation down in the comments, I would greatly enjoy to. But do it in a respectful manner. Do it in a way where, you represent your way in a positive way. So just keep that in mind. I really hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like and just let me know down your thoughts in the comments regardless. Whether you like CSGO, LOL, League of Legends, Dota 2, Call of Duty, whatever you like. I don't care whatever esport it is. I know I only mentioned those for this video, but if you guys enjoyed any of those, if you guys would like to talk about them in the comments, let me know. If you guys also did, make sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already for more content like this. And until next time, guys, have a great day. Stay classy. That was weird. So until next time, guys, have a great day, have a great night, and enjoy the weekend. I'll see you guys for another episode of talk and stuff like this later on down the line. So guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, and until next time, peace out.